natural language acquisition with the story listening method. Story listening training will give you optimal input. With story listening, you will experience high quality, engaging input that is perfectly tailored to your level of understanding. Forget tedious drills. Immerse yourself into stories that make learning feel natural and enjoyable. Focus on comprehension. Unlike traditional methods, there is no pressure to speak or write before you are ready. This approach allows you to truly absorb the language, free from stress and anxiety. Backed by research and fueled by joy. Studies show story listening is not only effective, but also deeply motivating. Students thrive on their progress, fueled by the joy of understanding and the satisfaction of success. Outstanding results. This unique combination of optimal input and stress-free environment delivers real, measurable improvements in language acquisition and proficiency. Say goodbye to the stress and anxiety of outdated methods. No more grammar-based textbooks designed for tests, not for real-world understanding. No more forced output activities. Why speak and read before you are ready? No more premature error correction. Stop focusing on mistakes. No more memorization or unproductive drills. They do not lead to lasting results in your learning. No more stressful evaluations, no more grades or excessive homework. Your time is precious. Use it for efficient things like story listening. With story listening method, learning becomes effortless and joyful. Start your gentle way to language acquisition with method that works. Ready to start your journey? Your success story starts today. Hope to see you soon. Everybody, welcome to another story listening session. Here we go. So the name of the story which I'm going to tell you today is King Midas, and it's quite famous story. Maybe you have already heard it, but I'll try to do my best to deliver you a comprehensible input with the help of this story. So King Midas. So king is a person who has a title. Right? So King Midas. That's the name of the story. So he has a crown, As a king, he's quite happy here. Now, a long time ago, many years ago, like be 2000 and a half years ago, quite a long time ago, it's like that, 2,500 years ago, there was a kingdom called Phrygia, and kingdom is a country which is ruled by the king like that, with a crown. So, and that name was Phrygia. There was a king, and his name was Midas. He had everything, a great castle and a lot of money. So let's just draw that. And a lot of money. So that's a castle. He had a great castle, and he had a lot of money. He was rich. He had a lot of money. He had everything. Like everything he wanted, everything he needed. He had everything. He had a beautiful daughter. And be like that. He had a beautiful daughter, the King Midas. He had a beautiful daughter. He had a big castle, great castle. He had a lot of money. He had everything what he wanted, everything that he needed. There was another kingdom called Lydia, which was west of Phrygia, and they made gold coins. So let's just try to imagine that we have two countries. So, and Phrygia, Lydia was west of Phrygia, so Lydia and Phrygia. So it's like that. So we got, it's like a map, and we have two countries. So it's a Phrygia, and to the west there is Lydia, and Lydia made gold coins, and gold coins is a coin made out of gold. Yeah, that's a coin. Yeah. So coin is usually the round shape. So it's a round. Yep, it's a round one. Yeah, and it's like that. The coins that you have, cash, the metal. King Midas really liked, he was really fond of, to collect these gold coins. He was collecting them, he was gathering them, collecting. He already had many, just not one, two, he had many of them, many gold coins, but he wanted more. His greatest happiness was to count his money. And count is just like you have money and you say like, oh, I get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just that's the way you do it. It's a counting. So you count how much do you have. Just to count like 100 grand is like 200, 300. Ooh, that's like, you better have a lot of them, okay? The King Midas, he had a little secret house in his castle garden. So let's try it. So it's a castle. There is a castle, and castle has a garden inside. And there was a small house in the garden. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Right, let's see. So, King Midas had a big castle, and there was a yard with the garden with some trees, and there is a big wall surrounding. That's a castle. So he was protected by the high walls, and there was a small house, and that was his secret house where he counted the money, the coins in the form of coins. So he was counting his coins there. All his money was kept in that little house that I showed you. So in this little house, all his money were kept in this little house. He, the King Midas, called it his counting house. So the place where he counted his money. That's because he was counting money in this house. He called it counting house. That's the way you make the name, counting house. King Midas had a safe in the counting house for his money. Let me draw it. Okay, let me draw it. Just need to exchange the pen. Right, so the safe. It's like, usually it's a metal one. Yeah, something like that. With thick walls. Like that. There is a safe for the money. So you have money inside. And you got the spinning wheels, just like you spin it and you open. So every day, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every day, the King Midas, he went to his little counting house from his castle and counted his golden money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He stacked up 10 gold coins and counted them. He stacked up. It's like that. He was one on the top of the other. Oh, it's a stack. It's like that. He put them one on the top of the other and he stacked them. He used those stacks like 10 in each. So it's easier to count when you got them in those stacks by 10. And so you count them, each of those. You do not count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you count like 1, 2, but you have to prepare them. You have to stack them up to 10. Yeah? Stuck up 10 gold coins and counted them. He counted over and over again, many times, not just once. He counted the money, get them back, counted one more and one more. That means over and over again. That means to repeat something, do something more than once, over and over again, many times. So he counted over and over again and wished, oh, I want something. I wish. He wished to have more, just more gold coins. He was very rich. He was rich already. He had many money. He had everything he wanted and needed, but he wanted more, and that's why he was greedy. He was greedy. That's a greed. When you have money for money, lust for money, you just want money, not that what they can give you. And sometimes this quite nice, really useful, healthy things, but he was he was greedy. It's like that. That's like, it's a greed, and he was greedy. That's really, really bad to be greedy. One day when King Midas was counting his money, maybe in stacks, he stacked maybe those coins and he was counting them in stacks. That moment, King Midas heard a voice. The voice asked, "What is your greatest desire?" It's like, what do you want? What is the thing that you really want? The greatest, the biggest, what do you want most of all? If you have the only wish, what it would be? What do you want the most? King Midas, without hesitation, immediately answered, "I want money, I want gold coins." And that was really important because he had not even thought for a couple of seconds. He had the answer just like that. Just, what do you want? I want money. What do you want? I want a gold coin. Just he wasn't spending any time thinking like, oh, I don't know, what is my greatest desire? Maybe this, maybe no. He was sure that he wanted a lot of money, more money. He wanted gold coins. The voice asked him, "Are you sure?" It means like, do you really want this? Are you sure? King Midas said, "Yes, I'm sure." The voice answered, "Your wish is granted. Everything you touch will turn into gold," the voice said. So his wish was granted, was given to him, just like without any obligations, was granted to him, given to him. And everything you touch, everything he touched, will turn into gold. That means like if he touches a chair, the chair will become a golden chair. If he touches a table, the table will become a golden chair. Everything he touched. King Midas was really happy. Whoa, great, now I can make a lot of gold out of everything. He went outside and touched the pebble. And pebble are those small rocks which you can find outside. The pebbles. Usually the round shape. Pebbles. Like that. So he started with everything he could find, like pebble. Then he found some flowers and he touched flowers and they became golden flowers. Midas jumped with joy. He was jumping. Jumped with joy, just like that. He jumped off the ground like this. Ooh, that like celebrating that. Then, after all these activities, King Midas became hungry. He went back to the castle, his beautiful castle. So he went back to the castle. He opened the door, and the door turned into gold. He was happy. He went into the dining room, the room where you have food, where you eat. He saw a beautiful red roses in the vase. It's like that. Okay, rose is quite challenging for me, but I do my best. Okay, something like that in the vase. Some water, okay. So he saw some roses. He saw some roses in the vase. He touched he touched the roses, and he touched the rose to smell the flower. Then the rose turned into golden rose, and he felt disappointed. He was not happy about this. Disappointed. I cannot enjoy the smell of flowers, he thought. I wasn't there. He touched the chair and sit down. The chair turned into gold. He was happy again. Oh, it was quite easy for him to become happy. He sat down and he touched the dining table. And the table turned into gold. So he sat. So he sat and he touched the chair and it became gold, and he touched the table and the table, his dining table, also became a golden one. Like that. He was not really happy, but he was at least sitting on the golden chair and just at the golden table. Okay. Then he picked up a piece of bread to eat. When the bread turned into gold, he couldn't eat the bread because it was out of gold. He touched a grape to eat, and the grape turned into gold. So he had the bread and grapes. So he had bread to eat, and he had grapes, and he couldn't eat them. Couldn't eat because when he touched them, they became golden one. Okay. He could not eat food. He began to feel fear. Oh, he was afraid. What was going on? He became afraid. His daughter came in. So his daughter came in and she ran to her father. She wanted maybe to embrace him, give him a hug. And King Midas, without thinking, touched her and kissed her, give her a kiss. And the princess turned into gold. So the King Midas kissed his daughter. So the King Midas, he kissed his girl, his daughter, and she became a statue of gold. She became golden statue. He was terrified. Oh my God, he was terrified and cried out and said, I don't want money anymore. I want my daughter back. The voice returned. The voice asked King Midas, and King Midas answered, no, I don't want money anymore. I have enough money, enough, not greedy anymore. I was wrong, not right, was wrong. I loved money more than anything. That's greed. The voice told him to go to the river Pactolus, and wash his hands in that river. King Midas ran to the river. King Midas ran. He wanted so fast. He ran to the river and washed his hands. When he returned, the rose, the chair, grape, bread, and all other things that he changed to gold turned back to normal again. So they became as they were before he touched them. His daughter was no longer a statue of gold. He hugged his daughter and was glad that she came back alive. So she was living again, not a golden one. Oh, they were happy again because King Midas was happy because his daughter was alive, not a golden statue anymore. So she was alive. King Midas decided to share his money with the poor people. So he didn't keep the money like he used to. He shared, he gave his money to some of his citizens, some of his poor citizens. King Midas became a kind, he was not cruel, was kind, helping, generous person. Generous, that means that you share with those who need. Those who are in need, you share with them. It can be food, money, or some medicine, I don't know. Poor people were no longer hungry because they had food, and they became happy because King Midas helped them, because he became generous. He gave them some part of his money, his wealth. When King Midas died, they were really sad because their king was gone. Their kind king was gone. And that is the end of the story. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye. Are you ready to discover the power of natural language acquisition with the story listening method? Story listening training will give you optimal input. With story listening, you will experience high quality, engaging input that is perfectly tailored to your level of understanding. Forget tedious drills. So, who is story listening for? Just discover the natural path to language mastery with story listening. Imagine a learning method that works with everyone, for children, for adults, for teens, even complete beginners. My story listening sessions are designed to help anyone to acquire a second language effortlessly and naturally. So why to choose story listening? First of all, it's affordable and of high quality. With story listening training course, you'll save money. You'll save money without compromising of the quality of your language acquisition journey. And secondly, immersion anytime and anywhere. No need for traditional classroom. Story listening is a mobile and micro-learning friendly, allowing you to learn on your schedule, where you are, and also from your phone if you like. Flexibility in learning. Whether in a group or one-on-one, story listening ensures the same high level of language acquisition. Save money by joining the group lessons while enjoying the same effective learning experience. Invest in your child. Invest in their future. Do you want your child to learn second language without stress and frustration? Traditional methods can drain your resources and leave learners feeling defeated. How effective were those old school language classes for you? With story listening, your child will enjoy learning naturally, achieving meaningful results without anxiety of tests and forced drills. Also help yourself to achieve more. In today's world, self-reliance is a key. Mastering English open doors to opportunities not only in UK, Ireland or United States, but also in countries like Norway, Denmark, Netherlands and even Germany. Story listening offers a seamless, enjoyable way to build your skills and achieve your goals. Start your journey today because the best time to learn is now. Story listening is an engaging and natural way to acquire your second language. It's your gateway to a brighter future. So start today. Welcome everybody for our next story listening session, and today's story is The Rose, rewritten by Benica Mason for story listening. Let's get down to business. Once upon a time, long time ago, in the past, maybe 200 years ago, like this. 200 years ago, quite a long time. It's 2 centuries, 200 years ago. It was in Germany. It was in Europe, and Germany is a country in Europe. So that's my interpretation of Europe, and there is Germany. So we have Europe here. That's in Italy. Okay, and this is Germany here. It's a country part. Europe and Germany. It's like Germany is part of Europe. So that was 200 years ago in Germany, and there was a woman. Like that. It was a woman. And she was very poor. That means that she has no money. Very poor, no money. She lived in a small house. Just maybe 1 bedroom or even just 1 room with annex. So, and she was like that. Alright. That was a woman. She was poor. And she was living in a small house. They couldn't afford something big. So she had 2 children. She had a boy and a girl. So she had a boy and a girl, two children. A boy and a girl. And the boy was older and the girl was younger. So the boy was older and the girl was younger. It was like that. There was children. So the boy was older, more years, higher, taller, and the girl was younger, less years, less. And mother told the girl, go into the forest and get some firewood. So she sent her daughter, the woman, sent her daughter into the forest, and the forest is a place with a lot of trees, different trees, a lot of trees, like that. That's a forest. There are a lot of trees, no people, no houses. There are just trees and nothing else. So, get some firewood. And firewood is wood that you use to put it on fire. Just you use it in your fireplace or some stove. It's pieces of wood that you can put into your fireplace. Let me draw it for you. So, to heat your house. So, like that. So you got them into your fireplace and you put them on fire. So you ignite them and you got a fire and you heat. You heat from not getting cold. You heat your house to make it warm. Nice. You warm from the fire. Higher temperature. The mother told the girl to fetch some firewood every day. So fetch, she told her to fetch. Like that. So she told her to fetch. That means that you don't have something and you go somewhere, take it and bring it back. So you come back with something that you didn't have before. You go without it and you come back with this. So that means to fetch, to bring it from somewhere back from where you started. That means to fetch. You don't have it, you go somewhere, take it, grab it, and you get back with this. And that means to fetch something. And by the way, the girl was only 5 years old and she was doing this job. But she knew, the girl, she knew that her mother needed her help because they needed something to put into the fireplace and to heat their house, to make it warm, not to get cold inside. Mother was poor, no money, was poor, and she needed wood to warm the house, like that in the fireplace, and to cook food for her children. So I think that they had really old kind of open fire cooking. It was like that. So you got firewood. So they used the pot on the fire to cook. So you got food here in the pot and you got fire from firewood, and there is a fireplace, something like stove, ancient way of cooking. And the girl had to go to the forest every day. So they heated the house every day. So the girl had to go to the forest every day. That means like on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I guess it was on Sunday as well. So all days through the week, she was going to the forest every day, like Monday, Friday, Tuesday, every day. One day, when the girl she went to the forest, she met a little boy. So she was in the forest looking for a wood, and she met a little boy. It was a girl, and she went to the forest with a lot of trees, the forest, and she met a small boy. He was way smaller than her. And the boy, he said to her, I will help you. He began to help her to pick up some wood. So he was looking for the firewood and was helping picking up. He was a little boy, but he was quite strong. He didn't stop working, so he didn't make any breaks. No lunch breaks, no breaks for social net or something. He was working. He worked busily. That means like he was concentrated on the process. He worked hard, so he didn't look for only small pieces of wood. He was gathering everything that he could see. So he was not flanking. He was like really hard working. He was working hard. He worked hard. He worked industriously. And industriously is when you have a really well-defined process like step 1, step 2, step 3, and you don't stop. You just have everything calculated, and you have well done job with forming your process from start till the end. That means industrious. That's why this word industry. That when you have some process-based approach, when you have this process 1, 2, 3, for every step you have, and from each step comes the next step. So he worked industriously. After he gathered a lot of wood, he said, I will help you take them home, those firewood. They had 2 bundles of firewood, and bundle is when you collect something into kind of packages like that. So they had 2 bundles like that, 2 bundles of firewood. It's more like twigs, but anyway, it's a firewood. So they had 2 bundles, one per each, and as soon as the 2 children arrived home and brought 2 bundles of wood home, suddenly the boy disappeared. So they both took the bundles, the girl and the boy. They had bundles and they went home. So, girl had bundle of firewood and the boy had bundle of firewood, and they went back. So they fetched. They had no firewood and they brought it back. That means that they fetched some firewood back to home. And when they came to home, the boy was there and he disappeared. There was no boy anymore. So you could see him, there is a boy, and just another moment, you take a look aside, and you get back, and there is no boy. He disappeared. The girl said to her mother, Mother, I met a little boy in the forest, and he helped me
to find a firewood and help me carry the wood home. Mother said, "Nobody lives in the forest. I do not believe you." So her mother thought that girl was saying not true, because she was quite sure, the mother was quite sure, that nobody lives in the forest. I don't believe it. The next day, that means it was Monday and it would be Tuesday in this case. Next day, when the little girl went into the forest, the little boy came and helped her. She was happy to see him, and he helped her to carry wood home, just like the day before. So she met again the boy in the forest, and the boy helped to collect some firewood, maybe 2 bundles again, and he helped the girl to carry this firewood back to home, to fetch it back. That happened every day. Like every day girl went into the forest, she met this small boy and he helped her. So girl was happy to see him there in the forest. One day, the little boy said, "I will not come anymore." That means that he said to her that he won't be in the forest next day and all days after. So that was last time. No, not anymore. Today is the last day today. But I will give you a flower today. And it was a rose. It was a rosebud. So the boy gave this girl a rose. Oh, I was quite good with it. So the boy gave this girl a rose. Yeah, see? And there was a rosebud. It's part of the flower. It's a rosebud. And the boy said, "I will come back when the rosebud is full bloom." So it was like a young flower. The bud was closed, and the boy said, "When the rosebud is in full bloom, like that, he will come back." The girl said to her mother, the girl said to her mother, "The boy told me that he would not come to help me again." That means that there won't be any more help from the boy. But today he gave me the rose. So he just told the story to her mom. So he told her that there was a last day when boy helped her, and that he gave the girl this flower, the rosebud. Mother wondered. Wow, she was surprised. Maybe it's true. She put the rosebud in the vase. So she took the vase with some water and put the rose inside of it. So mother took the vase, maybe poured some water inside, and put the rose inside of the vase. The girl said, the boy said he would come again when this rose is in full bloom. The next day, little girl went into the forest, and but the boy didn't come, just like he promised. She thought, she was looking for the wood, she sought firewood by herself. The next day she went to the forest again, as we told before. So she went to the forest again on her road, just the girl, and the boy wasn't there again. She was sad. On the third day, girl was tired. Like there was a lot of firewood. She fetched it by herself back home, so she was tired. Like she had no energy, no power. She was tired. On the fourth day, the girl didn't wake up. She stayed in the bed and she was sleeping. It's like that. Stayed in the bed and she was sleeping. So she was sleeping. Alright. So the fourth day girl stayed in the bed and she was sleeping, like eyes closed. See? She was sleeping in the bed. Mother came to the child's bed. The mother came to the child's bed and said, wake up, it's time to go to the forest to fetch wood. So again, it was a lot of job to be done. Come on, let's go, it's time to go to the wood for the firewood. Not such a nice start of the day for me. But the girl didn't wake up, she was sleeping. The eyes were closed. Mother said, my child is dead. So she died. But the child looked happy, so she was sleeping. The eyes were closed, but maybe she was smiling like that. So it should be like this. So girl was sleeping. But she looked happy, like she was smiling. Like that. So she was sleeping, but she was smiling. Mother looked at the rose and the flower was in full bloom. It was like so it was like that. So that was a young, not in a bloom, and here is a full bloom. The little boy came and took the girl to the heaven. And that's the end of the story. Hope you like it. Bye bye. This ensures that you receive the maximum exposure to your second language during each hour. Story listening sessions are delivered online. I use streams for that, YouTube at the moment, and make it that what makes those sessions are highly accessible and compatible with the microlearning approach, because you can enjoy them using your phone. So what should you do before the story listening session? You first of all need to relax and get ready. That means that you should avoid stress and anxiety.
Secondly, what will help you that you are not forced to show yourself and present yourself. You just join the stream. That means like maximum privacy that I can even think of. No video or audio is required from your side. Yeah, prepare to immerse yourself into the story and enjoy stress-free learning environment. So what happens during the session? So during the session I perform usually one story per session. At the beginning stories may be shorter, and of course they are, if we're talking about beginners, so they will be simple, and I'll use maximum simple structures. It's like nothing complicated at all. Sessions typically last 45 minutes because it's not productive to make them longer, especially at the beginning. In 45 minutes of story listening, you will be exposed to more of the second language that you are willing to learn, acquire, than you will have during 2 hours of the classical grammar translation method lessons. So it's up to you to compare. Immersion and comprehension during the session. You will engage with the story and naturally acquire the language. You need to be focused to that. What happens else? As a comprehension adding supplementation. What does it mean? The session incorporates tools like drawings. So I will draw pictures in order to help you to comprehend what is the particular story is about. And now I'll be drawing. I'm not a professional cartoonist, but I will try to do my best, and I hope that you at least be not that much of terrified by my pictures, my drawing. Alright, so and what else? Drawings, of course, gestures that will help you, like also, and what else? Simple explanation, so we use simple sentences and synonyms, antonyms to explain words. It just rather than just rely solely on the memorization, vocabulary drills. So story listening enhances understanding and keeps the experience engaging. So that's what happens during the session. So after the session, just try to feel motivated, refreshed, and ready for another session, of course. There will be no homework. There is no need to complete exercises or drills after the session. Feedback is always welcome. So let me know if you enjoyed the story. If you'd like, you can write summary in your L1 language, your mother tongue, your native language. So this is only optional, only if you would like this, because later those summaries will help you to see your progress, and also they will help me to provide you with some more material evidence of your progress. But it's only optional and only if you feel like doing that. So that's generally all. Thank you very much. Hope to see you soon. welcome to the story listening session. And today's story is The Elves Help an Old Man by Benika Mason for story listening. So let's get down to this. Once upon a time, there was a man. He was a Japanese man. He was a good man. He was a very kind man. Okay, it was like that. There was a man like that, and moreover, he danced well. He was dancing well. He was a good dancer because he danced well. Everyone, means all people around him, liked him because he was kind. And he was kind means like he didn't do anything bad. He didn't hit somebody or something, taken from somebody. He was kind. He could help someone. If he saw that someone needs his help, he would help. That means kind. Not evil, but kind. Not mean, but kind. Also, he was cheerful. And cheerful is a person that inspires everybody. Like, you know that there are cheerleaders. So they inspire people, and he was cheerful, full of cheer. That means he was inspiring others, providing them with some energy, making them feel better. Like not that sad. If the person is sad and someone is cheerful, so hey, come on, it's a nice day, let's go. That's a cheerful person. Maybe you know someone like that, and it's really nice to be around such people. He was cheerful and a good dancer. Like that's a combo. Cheerful person who dances well. Great. He had a wife. He had a wife. Alright? There's the wife. The old man had a wife. They lived happily. It means like they had everything nice. They lived happily together in a small house. Not big, but small. Like they lived together in a small house. Like the man, and his wife, the good dancer, and his wife, they lived in a small house. Small, not big. Not 5-bedroom house, but just small house, like 1 bedroom. Everything was going well. Everything was going well. But there was one thing he was not happy about. That was a big growth on his face. Something like that. That's not that pleasant. Big growth on his face. Like that. There was a big swelling on his cheek. Swelling. Like that. Let me spell it for you. Swelling on his cheek. It's like that. Swelling on his cheek, and that's it. That is the swelling, and this is his cheek. There's a cheek. That's my cheeks. Yeah. And he had swelling on his. Not pleasant. It was half size of the golf ball. So golf ball is like that. So it was like this, quite big. He didn't like it. Who would? Nobody would. His wife said that she still loved him. So that was not a problem. The wife loved him. The man went to a doctor and got some medicine. Medicine, that's what you got from the doctor to make yourself better, to cure. This is a medicine. Medics, they provide medicine. So the doctor is medic, and he provided him with the medicine. He gave him something to help his problem. The old man, he swallowed the potion, and swallow means like when you got something like a pill and that you swallow, that means to swallow. He rubbed the ointment on his growth, and ointment is like a butter, oil, special, like for the special oil for the cure is an ointment. Now that's special, like not just usual oil, but special, just to put on some wound or like he had swelling. Let me spell it for you. And swelling ointment. Rubbed the ointment. Rub the ointment. It's like that. He rubbed the ointment on his swelling, on his growth. He, the man, wanted to get rid, just to take it out, to get rid, just not have it anymore, to get rid of it, to get rid of the growth. And it's a phrase that you could use, like to get rid of it. Yeah. Yeah, to get rid of it. So to get rid of something that you don't like, you don't want to have it anymore, to get rid of it. But the doctor could not help him. He didn't solve his problem. He didn't solve. So the man, he didn't know what to do. One day, man, he was walking in the forest. And the forest is a place with a lot of trees, no people, like it's a wild nature, just like we were saying before, just forest, a lot of trees, nobody there, just wild nature. And suddenly it began to rain. There was a storm, and storm is like when you got all clouds, a lot of wind, and maybe even some lightnings. It's like that. The storm started. The storm. Those are clouds. There's the rain. There's the wind blowing, and there are some lightning bolts, just lightnings. What else? The wind was blowing, as I told you. Like the wind blowing. That's mean the blowing wind. And there was a thunder, boom, and lightning. That's a lightning. There was a loud noise all after that. That's like a thunder, light and thunder noise. He, the man, needed to find a place to hide. He wanted to hide somewhere from rain and everything like that. So he found, there was no house, of course, in the forest. Then he came to a large tree. So he came to large tree. So as a man, and he came to a large tree, the big one. The big one. It wasn't a simple tree. I'll tell you further. And he came to a large tree, and it was hollow tree. It was hollow tree. Hollow means there was only on the outside there was some matter tree, and inside it was empty. It was hollow. It was hollow. So it's like that. So you see, and there is a tree on the outside, and there is nothing inside. That means hollow. Hollow. So you can get inside, and you got space for yourself. You get inside. It's just hollow. Just on the outside is a tree, and inside it's a hollow, empty space. Empty space, nothing. So he was glad to find it. So he went inside. He got inside. He got inside. There was a space, and he got inside of this tree. He hid inside, like you got some space where you can get in and you hide inside. So he hid in the tree and waited. He was waiting some time until the storm went away. So there was no rain anymore, no blowing wind, and no lightning. Then suddenly storm stopped. There was no rain, there was no wind, there was no thunder, there was no lightning, there was no noise like usually during the storm. It was quiet. Nothing, quiet. She thought he might have become deaf, and deaf is when you don't hear. Deaf. That means you do not hear with your ears. Deaf, nothing. It's just silence, completely no sound. You cannot hear. Deaf. So he thought that there was so silent. So he thought that maybe he went deaf. And he could not hear anything. Then, suddenly, he heard some footsteps. Footsteps, boom, 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 like the sound when you put the leg on something, you hear the footsteps. Those are footsteps. Those are footsteps. And he heard them. He looked out from the tree. And saw a lot of people coming towards the tree. Then he found that they were not people. So he found means like he looked more. They got closer and he could see them better, and then he could see them better. He understood that these are not people. So while he was looking closely, he saw that those were not people. Those were elves. And elves are those small creatures who works with Santa Claus usually. Like this. I hope that's some kind similar. Those elves, they helping Santa. Yeah? There were a lot of them. And they were approaching. And the man so the elves were getting closer, and the man he hid inside the tree, but he was looking out, And the man thought, oh no, the elves didn't like people. The old man began to worry. Oh, he was like not really calm. He was not optimistic anymore. Maybe elves will kill him if they find him in the tree. So he hid deeper in the tree. So he was on the edge, so he could look up. So he hid deeper inside the tree. He hid deeper. The elves came and stopped at the tree. And they what they did. So they stopped close to the tree, and they said, let's have a picnic here. So they all sat and began to eat and drink. Some of them began to sing. Like songs, like jingle bells, like songs. They were singing. So they sang songs, and some of them stood up and began to dance. Others began to clap their hands. They sang songs, laughed, and danced. But one elf said, stop dancing. You are not good dancers. I'm bored, and bored is what you're not satisfied with what you do, what you see. Like at this time and this place, you don't like what's going on, you do not find it interesting, it's not interesting for you, it doesn't catch you, it's not interesting. And so this elf was bored by the way those elves were dancing. So he didn't like the way they danced, obviously. And then he said, I'm bored. Isn't there anyone who can dance better? And that elf, it was the chief of the elf. The chief is like their leader, chief of the elves. Like that. You got chief of the elf. The old man listened to them sing and clap their hands, and he wanted to dance too. He liked, oh nice, he liked dancing. He was good at dancing. When he heard the chief say, isn't there anyone who can dance better? He stuck his head out from the hollow tree, like he stuck his hand out from the hollow tree and said, I can. The elves were surprised and turned their heads to the old man. That's what I was talking, and then they heard him and they just turned their hands to the old man. The old man thought, oh no, the elves will be angry and kill me. But elves were friendly. They wanted him be there. They were not angry. They were friendly and said to the old man, show us how to dance. Show us. So the old man bowed low and said hello. So the old man bowed, so like he bowed, like into showing his respect. He bowed low and said hello. He said, I will show you how to dance. The old man moved his arms right and left, moved his legs forward, backward, twisted his body left and right, twisted his body, left and right, moved his leg forward, right, twisted his body, and showed the elf different moves and steps. He was like quite nice with dancing. The elves were delighted. Wow, they were really satisfied. They were pleased with what he showed them. They said, teach us how to dance like that. We want to dance like you. Teach us. So old man showed them how to dance. He just showed them his moves. He was kind to elves and showed the elves with patience. He was not losing his temper if they didn't do something right. He was patient. He paid them enough attention and he was waiting for them to learn. He was waiting. He wasn't losing his temper. And the chief said, old man, sit down and have some drinks and eat some food. So the old man ate, drank, sang, danced, and laughed, and had a great time with the elves. So it was quite nice to meet them there. After a while, after some time, it's like after a while, like it should be like at least 1 hour to say such things. After a while, the old man said, I must go home. Now, the chief, the major, the most important elf, the chief of elves, wanted the old man to come back again. And he asked the man, will you come back tomorrow, next day, tomorrow, will you come back to the forest to us tomorrow? The old man didn't want to meet the elves again. He was still maybe afraid. He said he was not sure. That means that he didn't knew
maybe, perhaps, but he was not sure. If I take that away, oh, alright, he's not sure. Then, chief of elves thought the old man has a growth on his face. It must be very valuable for him, very valuable to him. Means like it's really have a lot of sense, a lot of preciousness. You value this. It means like you have your car and it's valuable for you, or you got your house and it's valuable. You got a job, or you got some present which is valuable as a memory. Something that makes a lot of sense for you. Maybe not material, but for you, it's really valuable. Alright, so that was what Chief of Elves thought back then. The old man has a growth on his face. It must be valuable to him. If I take away from him, if I take that away from him, he will return to get it back tomorrow. So that was his logic. So the chief reached his hand to the old man's growth and took it. But he had some magic, definitely. The swelling was gone. So the swelling was gone, so there was no swelling anymore. So the chief of elves took his swelling, and there was no that swelling on his cheek anymore. So he had a clean face, really nice. And the swelling was gone. It did not even hurt. Nice. The old man was surprised that the growth was gone. He said goodbye and went home. When he came home, his wife looked at him and said, "What happened to your swelling?" So the old man told his wife all about what had happened. The man next door, that means neighbor, man next door, so for example, that was our old man's house from the story, and there was a next house close to him. And when you say next door, that means the house which is maybe next on the street. So you say next door, next, not next house, but next door. The neighbor, really close neighbor, next door, next door. So his neighbor, the man next door to the old man, also had a growth on his face. So that man thought about that, and he decided to go to the hollow tree and get the elf to take his growth away. But this man was not nice. He was not a kind man. He was evil. He was not a good dancer either. He didn't know how to dance. The next day, that the next door neighbor went to the forest. So he went to the forest and he found the hollow tree. He went inside and he waited. So he was sitting there for some time, like 3 hours, for example. He was waiting. Soon the elves came. They sat and began to have a party, just like before. They were sitting, they were singing, they were eating, yum yum, and they were drinking. Yeah, they were having a party. They were partying. A chief said, "Is the old man coming tonight? Is the old man coming tonight?" Then the man, hiding in the hollow tree, as another man, but he was hiding in the hollow tree, just like our main character. So came out. So that man, the new man, he came out of the tree, came out, and said, "Hello." The elf said, "Come and show us how to dance again." The man danced, but he was a bad dancer, bad dancer. And all he did was flapped his arms and kicked his legs. The elves tried to learn, but they could not. He was so bad. The man became angry with the elves and said, "You are not good dancers." The elves were not happy. They said, "We don't want you to come back. We will give you your swelling back." So this man had 2 swellings on both sides of his face. So that was the other man. So he had now 2 swellings on the both sides of his head, on the both of his cheeks. And that's the other man, you see, he's angry, he's not kind. He was really ashamed, just like he did something bad and now he doesn't want that anybody would know about this. So he was ashamed, like he felt so bad. He was ashamed of the 2 swellings. He didn't want anyone to see him and he crawled home. It's just like really sneaky. He crawled home, just like that. So nobody could hear him. He crawled. It was like that, it's like crawled, really like. So nobody could see him. And this is the end. Hope you like it. Bye bye. Hello everybody and welcome. So, have you ever wondered if there is a better way to learn a language? What if you could acquire a new language naturally, just like a child, by simply listening to stories? So, welcome to the world of story listening. Hi, my name is Andrew and I'm glad to introduce you to this incredible method created by Dr. Beninka Mason, and it's called story listening. Story listening is a groundbreaking approach to language acquisition that's changing the way people learn around the world. And the best part, it's simple, engaging, and backed by decades of research. What is story listening? Story listening is about acquiring a language through comprehensible input, hearing and understanding meaningful messages, just like how we learn our first native language. No drills, no tests, no stress, just stories tailored to your level, told in a way you can understand. During each session, we use timeless tales, fairy tales, folk tales, fables, to immerse you into the language. Teachers make the story comprehensible by using context, drawing,
and sometimes touch of your native L1 language, just in order to help you. How does language acquisition happen? Research shows that language acquisition happens when we understand what we hear and read. This is called comprehensible input. Language is acquired, not memorized. Anxiety and stress slow the process. Progress is natural when you are surrounded by meaningful input. With story listening, you'll experience these principles firsthand. It's not about learning grammar rules. It's about understanding story. That's where real progress starts. What makes story listening so effective? While story listening eliminates, first of all, stress by removing traditional obstacles like tests, grammar drills, what else? Grammar drills, and forced output like dialects and reading something, and error corrections. Instead, story listening focuses on high quality input, stories tailored to your comprehension level, engagement, stories that captivate and motivate you to keep going, empirical support, decades of research validate the effectiveness of story listening. So what is the goal of the story listening course? So the primary goal of this course is to create autonomous language acquirers. So students who can continue improving independently long after the course ends. We are not aiming for perfection during the course itself. Instead, we are building a strong foundation for the long-term success. Evaluation without stress, that's really important. Evaluation in story listening is informal and stress-free. Students might summarize a story in their first language, draw a picture, or write about what they understood from the story. And it's not compulsory, it's just by their own will. It's not about grades in story listening. It's only about tracking the progress, just making some journaling about your progress. Only about this. Nobody judges you how good you are or how bad you are. No grades. And consistency is a key. Consistency is crucial because it's a skill, and you need to attend your sessions regularly and to be focused during the sessions and engage with the stories, with the process. Language acquisition takes time. It's not fast. You need to put some effort in it. But with story listening, progress is natural and rewarding by itself. And the next step after the story listening, and the next step in this way of natural language acquisition is called guided self-selected reading, GSSR in short. And I cannot overestimate, I use it by myself to learn Polish at the moment, and it works really nice. It's really great. You just sometimes you do not even understand that you learn at the moment, but you do really. So once you've built the foundation through a story listening phase, you may have a transition to guided self-selected reading. It's an intermediate step to reading authentic texts, those texts that were written for the native speakers. So the guided self-selected reading using graded readers, but you can choose those graded readers connecting with your interests, tailored to your interests and level, ensuring a smooth and stress-free progression. And just want to ask you if you're ready to unlock all this potential of story listening. Just visit our website L2JUDO Club and start your story listening experience with a gentle way, with a judo way. So your story of success begins right now. Alright, hope to see you soon. Bye bye and good luck. Welcome to the next story listening session, and today's story is Jack and the Beanstalk, and now we will know what does it mean. Rewritten by Benica Mason for story listening. So let's get down to this. Once upon a time, a long time ago, like 300 years ago, 300 years ago, like that, 300 years ago, long time ago, in England, there was a boy. There was a boy. There was a boy. With funny haircut. There was a boy in England 300 years ago. His name was Jack. And he was about 10 years old. Like that. There was a boy, his name was Jack, and he was about 10 years old, and he lived in England 300 years ago. He lived with his mother in a small house. So he has a mother, he had a mother back then. The mother and they lived together in a small house. Yeah? So there was a Jack, 10 years old, and he had a mother, and they lived in a really small house, just like one story, just one, maybe couple of rooms or even smaller. They were very poor, no money. They had no money. So when you have no money, that means that you are poor. Poor is a kind of situation, the state, when you have no money. No money, fortunately. Really bad situation. One day, his mother said, "We have no money. We have no money, Jack. We only have a cow." Ooh, cow. They had a cow. It is really valuable asset 300 years ago. Let me try to make a cow. So they had a cow. They got milk from it maybe. So we only have a cow. Take the cow to the market and sell it tomorrow, next day. So if today Monday, that means Tuesday. If it is Tuesday today, it means Wednesday, next day. Not today, it's next day. And sell it tomorrow. Bring the money home. So he asked the boy to get to the market.
and get the money back home. It's like this. So his mom asked him to take the cow to the market. That's the market, I can. Take the cow to the market, sell it, and get money instead of cow back home. Next day, Jack, when he went to the market, Jack met, which he saw someone met a strange old man on the way to the market. So he was on his way to the market, and he met. Let me just make a new picture for you. Oh, he was going to the market with cow. On the way, and he met an old man. So Jack was on his way to the market, and he met an old man with a beard, with a cane, like, oh, very old, a lot of years old. Like, I don't know, let it be 75 years old, really old. The old man, 75 like years old. This man asked Jack where he was going. Where are you going? He asked him where he was going. Jack told the man that he was going to the market to sell the cow and get the money, because she was very poor, had no money, very poor. And that old man told Jack, your cow is old, has many years, it was an old cow. No one wants to buy your cow, means that there will be no people who would give money for this cow. There is no one. No one wants to buy your cow. I, the old man, I will give you, Jack, I will give you 5 beans, and you give me your cow. So 5 beans, that make me like that. It's like, get it done. There are 5 beans in exchange for the cow, because the cow was too old to be sold for money. Nobody wanted to buy this cow. That, as the old man said to Jack. And Jack answered, 5 beans for my cow? Oh no, my mother will be hungry, he said about his mom. We have no money. I have no money and no food. I can't give you my cow for 5 beans, said Jack. But these beans are magic beans, said the old man. The magic means not usual, but magic. Plant them today and you will be surprised tomorrow. Plant means put beans into the ground. Means plant.
like that. Put the beans into the ground, maybe pour some water, and that means to plant. Yeah? Put them into the ground. Now, you'll be surprised. There will be something magic happens, and you will be surprised tomorrow, next day. Jack thought the old man was right. The cow was old and weak. Jack gave the cow to the old man, and the man took the cow. Jack had 5 magic beans, but he had no money and no cow. When Jack came home, his mother said, "You came home early. Did you sell the cow? How much? How much money you got? How much did you sell the cow for? Like 10, 20, 30. Jack showed her 5 magic beans. And she shouted, the mother shouted, 5 beans for the cow. Oh, that's so bad. She wasn't pleased. But mother, the old man, said that they were magic beans. Actually, wow, not usual. Said Jack. Silly boy, said Jack's mother. Silly, that means someone who makes stupid decisions or makes some acts not smart, just like making something stupid, do not understand something obvious, or make some really stupid things. It's just like, stop being silly, just start to think, please. Something like that. Silly boy, not smart one, like that, said Jack's mother. She was very hungry. She was really hungry, like that. She was really hungry. With him, really hungry. The Jack's mother was really hungry. But mother, silly boy, yeah, she was hungry. Jack, we do not have any food tonight. They had no food. I know you are hungry. So he wanted to eat. And the mother said, I know you are hungry, Jack, but please go to bed now. Jack went to bed without any food to eat. He was very hungry, tired, and very sad. Very sad. Who wouldn't be? He disappointed his mother. What it means is like, his mother. So he disappointed his mother. That means that his mother was expecting for the money, and she put her trust in her son. But Jack didn't do what he was supposed to do. He didn't do what his mother was expecting. So she had some expectations, hopes about her son, that he would sell the cow, that they would have money to buy food to eat or something else. But Jack made a stupid decision, and he exchanged the cow for the 5 magic beans. And mother didn't believe that the beans were magic. So that's why she was disappointed. And he disappointed his mother. Next day, but by the way, when the mother was angry, she threw the beans out of the window. Let me just... out of the window. Let me just make more pictures. So mom was so angry that she took the beans and threw them away through the opened window. So the window was open and she threw them away through the opened window. And the next day, so the night came and went. And the next day, when Jack woke up, he looked outside from the house. He saw a big green beanstalk. Let me just make it for you. Yeah. So beans were really magic, and the beanstalk, that's a beanstalk. Those are leaves on the beanstalk. It was there is a house, and there is a big beanstalk, really big, the giant one. Alright, so Jack saw this big green stalk growing outside of his window. Ah, the magic beans, the old man was right, said Jack. Jack, he started climbing the beanstalk and climbed higher and higher. So he jumped on the beanstalk, I guess, and started to climb higher and higher. So, I just pictured here. There is a Jack, and he jumped on the beanstalk and started to climb higher and higher. Okay. He reached sky at last. So he went so high. The beanstalk was so high that he got into the sky, or something like that. So those are clouds, and there's a beanstalk just into the sky. He went up so high. He was not afraid. He was excited. Wow, he was excited. He got off the beanstalk and began to walk. It was hot. It was hot there up in the sky because the sun was closer. It was closer to the sun. Like that. So there was the sun, and he was really to the upside, so the sun was closer and it was hot. Ooh, a lot of heat outside on the upside. He walked a long time, maybe hours, and then he saw a big house. Saw a big house kind of big one. So Jack saw a big house. He walked on the sky for a long time and he saw a big house. It was a huge house. Jack knocked on the door. A big woman opened the door. A big woman opened the door and saw Jack. That is a Jack, and there is a big, really tall, big woman opened the door, and went outside to Jack. Okay. She was really surprised. Wow. She was surprised to see a boy. Her eyes became big and she said, "Who are you?" Jack answered, "My name is Jack. I am very hungry and thirsty." He wanted to drink some water, maybe. Like that. He wanted to drink. He was thirsty. Okay. Please give me something to eat and to drink. Go home, she said, the woman. My husband is a horrible giant. Horrible giant. Horrible giant. Something like that. It's really big. Bigger than a house. Just horrible, terrible, disgusting, bad looking giant. And he's a horrible giant. And he likes to eat children. Children like Jack. He likes to eat children like Jack, the giant. Horrible. Suddenly, the house began to shake. The ground began to quake. Like that, to quake. The woman said, "Oh no, my husband is coming home. Hide in the oven. Hide in the oven." The oven where you cook food. Hide in the oven. Quick, quick, he will never find you there, never. It's a safe place. Jack hid in the oven. So Jack got inside the oven. Jack is like, there was a big oven, and Jack got inside and hid himself inside the oven. The horrible giant came home. He opened the door and said, "Fee, fee, fa, fo, fum. I smell a little boy. Where is he? Where is he? I want to eat him for my breakfast." "There is nobody here," the woman said to the giant. "Sit down, be quiet, and eat your breakfast." The giant ate all food on the plate. So he sat on the table
sat on the chair, sorry, and ate all food on the plate. So the giant sat on the chair and started to eat, and he ate everything from his plate. The pancakes with syrup, fried sausages, scrambled eggs, boiled potatoes, strawberries and bananas. Boiled potatoes, when you put into the pot potatoes and you put them on the fire and the water boils. Yeah? So you put them on the fire and the water boils, and after some time potatoes are boiled enough and you can eat them. So it was boiled potatoes. Strawberries, that's berry. Strawberries. And banana is obvious, I hope. So that's a strawberry. And this is a banana. He had orange juice and coffee with milk from cow, maybe. Then the giant said to the woman, "Bring me a bag of gold. Bring me a bag of gold." There's a bag and there are gold coins inside. Bag with gold. The woman brought a bag of gold. The giant took out gold coins from the bag and counted them. So he took the gold coins from the bag and counted them like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like he was counting. How many does he have? Okay. He looked happy and said, "I'm rich." That means he had a lot of coins, a lot of money. Then he went to sleep and started snoring, like snoring. Yeah. Jack climbed out of the oven and grabbed the bag of gold and ran out. So Jack grabbed the bag of gold and ran out of the giant's house. He climbed quickly down. This time he was going down. He climbed down. The beanstalk entered his house, and called his mom. Hey! He told his mother where he got the gold. Mother was happy. So he got back home with gold, told his mother, and mother was happy. Great, they have gold now. And she said, "Thank you, Jack, for getting the gold, but please be careful. Please be careful." Please be careful means like take care. Be full of care for yourself. Be careful. Okay. Do not go up the beanstalk again, she said. But next day, Jack climbed up, this time again,
the beanstalk again. He was not afraid. He wanted more gold. When he knocked on the door of the giant's house again. So he went He climbed up again on the beanstalk and he went to the giant's house again. And he knocked at the door. And the big woman said, "You again?" Again, it means one more time, just not the first time. Again, it was the next time she saw him. But she was nice and gave him some bread and milk. "Be careful," she said. "The giant is very hungry because he cannot find his bag of gold." Suddenly the giant came home. "Fee, fa, fo, fum," he said. "I can smell a little boy. Where is he?" Jack jumped into a big pot. Into a big pot. So Jack jumped into a big pot, really big. He listened to the giant. "Where is the boy?" the giant said. "There is nobody here," said the woman. "Sit down and eat your breakfast." The giant ate all food on the plate, just like the day before. He ate all food on the plate. And he said to his wife, "Bring me the hen. Bring me the hen." And the hen is a girl chicken. Girl chicken with eggs. That makes eggs, right? Which is laying eggs. The chicken. Hen. Hen. The hen. The chicken that lays the eggs. Lays the eggs. Soon the giant became... The giant had the magic hen that laid golden eggs. Golden eggs. So that was a magic hen that laid down the golden eggs out of gold. Really nice hen. I would like to have some. The giant was happy to have a magic hen, and who wouldn't? Soon, giant became sleepy and began to take a nap. Take a nap. It means to have a small sleep, to take a nap. Take a nap. To take a small sleep, like half an hour, just hour during the day. Not at night, during the day. That is nap, to take a nap. Quickly, Jack climbed on the table and took the magic hen. So Jack climbed on the table and took the magic hand. He ran outside of the giant's house with the hand in his arms, but the hand began to crow. Began to crow because it was right after the magic hand laid an egg. The hand was excited, so the Jack grabbed the hand and ran away from the giant's house, but the hand laid an egg just before that, and she started to do sounds like co 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 co. She began to crow. The giant woke up because of the sound. He heard the co co co, the crow of the hen, and saw Jack running away with his magic hand. The giant, he was hungry. The giant began to run after Jack, to begin to run after. That means he wanted to catch the Jack. He was running after him. So means like giant ran after Jack. But giant wasn't old, many years, like 70 years old. 70 years old. The giant was really old, man. 70 years old. And he ran really slowly. Slow runner. Jack ran really fast. Jen ran to the beanstalk and climbed down. Quickly, climb down. Jack's mother gave Jack an axe. Gave Jack an axe. So the Jack's mother gave an axe to the Jack. This is an axe. And Jack cut down the beanstalk with an axe. So he chopped it, he cut down the beanstalk with an axe, like the tree, yeah, with an axe. He chopped it down, many strokes, and he chopped it down. Down came the giant, like, he was falling down. The giant, he fell to the ground with a loud sound, like, oh. Fell to the ground. So the giant fell down with a loud sound. Boom! He died. The giant died. Finito. Jack and his mother were very happy. Ooh, the giant is dead. They had the bag of gold and the magic hand that laid the golden eggs. So Jack and his mother, the mother and the Jack, they had the bag of gold and they had the chicken, the hen, that laid golden eggs. That was a really bingo moment for them. So they became rich, a lot of money, and lived happily ever after. That means for the long time after that moment. And this is the end. Thank you very much. See you the next time. Hi, my name is Andrew, and I'm here to share my journey with language acquisition and the incredible story listening method. If you try the traditional language learning approaches that leave you frustrated and burned out, this video is exactly for you. Over the years, I've embraced language acquisition as my preferred way of learning languages. Among all the methods I've tried, story listening stands out of the most advanced and effective. I consider story listening to be the most effective, actually. I owe much of my success in learning English to stories. My amazing teacher used the stories to help me acquire the language naturally. What was another factor, and that's really important, I never let the fear of making mistakes to hold me back. I've seen far too many talented students that were too afraid to make a mistake because they use such outdated methods like grammar translation, and that just made their fears too much for them. I knew there should be a better way. I explored comprehensible input language acquisition across several languages. Of course, English, then Czech, Ukrainian, and Polish. Also, I speak Russian as native. These experiences, combined with my non-native perspective, allow me to deeply understand the challenges that learners face in their journey to the second language acquisition. That's why I created this project, L2JUDO Club, and here is the philosophy behind the L2JUDO Club. Why the name is not obvious. Alright, so I consider learning a second language to be like mastering a martial art. You do not start with advanced moves or techniques. You begin with the basics, progressing step by step. Just like in judo, you build strength, flexibility, and confidence gradually. Think about it. Would you master judo just by memorizing the names of the throws and learning some Japanese words and watching some videos? Of course not. So, why the traditional language methods rely on drills, grammar exercises, and vocabulary drills, lists? Story listening is different. It immerses you in comprehensible, enjoyable input. Through engaging narratives, you naturally absorb the vocabulary, grammar, and you get pronunciation along the way, without stress or frustration. It's language learning the way it was meant to be. Story listening applies the Kaizen philosophy, which means small but continuous improvements. Each idiom understood, each story comprehended, and it's a victory. It's a small victory. It's like building your language skills one step at a time. When every step feels like a victory, and that's what makes you self-motivated, that's your reward. As Jigoro Kana, the founder of Judo, said, if there is effort, there is accomplishment. This principle applies to both martial arts and language acquisition, language learning. At L2JUDO Club, we believe in a gentle way, the judo way of acquiring second language. And with story listening, you'll experience language learning as healing and enjoyable journey. Start today and let yourself to unlock your potential. Let's do this together. Join us at L2JUDO Club and take your first step toward mastering your second language the gentle way. Alright, hope to see you soon. Wish you all the best. Bye bye.